Welcome back to the fifth and final match. Okay, so we're on the draw. We do not have a devoted druid style hand, but I like this hand a lot. I can go turn 1 noble, turn 2 finks, and then if I draw on a land and noble doesn't die, I can turn 3 company. That's a pretty strong start against most of the meta, so I will keep this. One time I said I was recording a video and I said I'll keep this, and I hit mulligan by accident. It was complete brain fart, so I'm always worried about doing that now. Blue-white control, this is not a great matchup. Oh, actually, I should have fetched the Temple Guard in there. My life total doesn't matter as much as the basic count. So next turn I will, unless I draw a Vizier, I will be saving mana for a Collected Company. Oh. I might just cast Collected Company now. Opponent has Path up. Unless they get a lucky Terminus hit, I really am not going to get punished for casting Collected Company now. They don't have Counter Magic up. Yeah, I think I'm going to go right now. I'm going to go pre-combat in case all I get are a bunch of nobles. Sure. Okay. Well, we got a lot of mana now. Opponent missed on land. That was really quick. Let's go back and look. So I think I have to decide if I want to again try to cord or company right now, take advantage of my opponent being missing a land drop, which is huge. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 mana, 10 mana, which means I can cord and cast company. I'm going to start off with the Seer. I'll cast the Noble, because it doesn't change my mana math. I'll shock that in. Do I want to cast Cord or Company first? I assume whichever one I cast first is going to get countered. I think I want to cast the Cord first, because I think casting Cord doesn't actually win me the game. I can get infinite mana, doesn't do anything. Casting Company, however, could hit me into something pretty good. So I'll cast Cord. I could scry away some mana dorks to try to make this a better company hit. I actually think I probably should do that. So Ballista's in the bottom of the deck. And I will grab the company. Opponent has 5 cards in hand. Man, Negate is just really good, huh? I mean, except unless I was a Vile deck. If I was humans, I'd be happy if they had a Negate in hand. I think I'd rather have them on the bottom of the deck. It stunk. So now I'm in the same situation, a good company hit. I can win. 12 cards deep is Ballista, so I don't have to worry about hitting him off of a company. Opponent hits their 3rd land. I think I just want to go for company now. I know I generally want my opponent to cast spells on, like make them cast 3rd mana on their turn so I can untap with more, but I mean, if I get a lucky company hit, I can just win right here. Okay. It's possible I've mismanaged this, letting my opponent get back in the game, but that lucky blind terminus really put them far ahead. The good news is I get to kill Jace, because I have enough power on board. I can cord for something right now, I just don't know if there's anything worth cording for. Oh. Can you tell that it's really late for me? I should have attacked 2 to the face. Alright, well this is what happens when you play too much Magic and you get kind of tired. Please let me know in the comments all the other punts, what punt counter I'm at. So... I can cord for a Eternal Witness and buy a Collected Company, and that seems like a good way to pressure them. I kind of like that. Sure. Okay. Opponent's crawling back into the game. They should be at a functional 16 right now. And they have 3 cards in hand and his content in play, and I have nothing but a seer. That helps a lot. So if they dig for his Kanta, I will cast Coco. If not, I'll be doing it on their end step. Okay, so I'm getting to the point where I'll be drawing Ballista again soon. This is a slot where Eternal Witness is much better than Renegade Rallier. Rallier there would not have been as good. I probably would have gotten the Finks instead. This deck was much better against blue-white back when it ran Supreme Verdict instead of Terminus. The fact that they can blind Terminus with 2 mana in play and have a board wipe is really, really rough. So right here, I can cast a company. I know there's 1 Finks and 1 Vizier on the bottom, relatively. Haven't used a fetch land in a while. So I think I want to not crack the fetch. Hope that 6 deep is a Finks. Yeah, I'm going to do that. And a Vizier. Gain a lot of life. Do I want a scry or a land? I think I want the land. I'll get the land. This just makes my top decks better. It makes their paths better also, but I would love to have some pretty good top decks right now. Celestial Colonnades online as a blocker. I don't know if we can beat 3 paths, 2 Terminus. I just don't know if we can beat that. No, it's been 3 terminus. 3 terminus, 3 path. This is just not meant to be. Yeah, I assume they have a cryptic here. Yeah. I would need to draw a company or an eternal witness, which I'm starting to run out of my good cards too, because I've had a decent game here. That double eternal witness play was pretty sweet. Opponent's got 4 cards in hand. They are running out of... I think Scavenging Ooze might be better here. I am intrigued with winning in a combo. Like if that Druid lived, I just won. Keeping Teferi from using his Tuck ability here, which would give them extra removal. Opponent should be at a functional 15 because I made a mistake earlier when I attacked Jace with everything. I might just need to forfeit soon because I am using a ton of clock. I have plowed through clock this game. This has not been a very good game for me. Between the accidental swing, Jace instead when they were tapped out. Also just being unlucky, seeing 3 paths, 3 terminuses. Yeah, but my opponent was down, stuck on 2 lands, and I failed to capitalize on that. I have to keep a green mana up just in case they have Snapcaster Mage. Yep. You can untap his Kanta, grab another card, and this game is pretty much over. Condemn? Okay. I'm just gonna attack everything at Teferi. I assume they have... I know they have Condemn. I assume they have one other spell. If they get their 4th Terminus here, that'd be ridiculous. Okay. That was rough. Okay. Just like in game 1, this is not a great matchup. They have board wipes, they have spot removal, and they can also beat infinite life with Teferi loops. It's super painful to do, but it's possible. What I like bringing in is taking out 4 chords and some infinite life, and bringing in removal, Sin Collector's Knight of Autumn, and a Gideon. Cards I need to watch out for are Rest in Peace, Spell Queller, and Dispel. My best hope here is to beat them with a quick combo. should bring in the Path to Exile if I think my opponent's going to have Spell Queller. I don't, because they run Terminus, so I don't think they're going to run Queller, and I think Terminus is very good against me, especially when they get it turn 2 blindly. So I think that's fine. So I don't think I want the Paths. I don't think they're going to bring Lyra in against me. It's possible I want to cut another Kitchen Finks for another Knight of Autumn. Knight of Autumn hits Rest in Peace. It's also a slightly larger body. It's a 4-3 potentially compared to the 3-2. Yeah, let's do that. Okay. Settle the Record is normally not very good against Abzan Company. I wouldn't be surprised if they actually sided out against me. So I need to hit a land for this hand to do anything, so I will mulligan. This is a very bad hand. I will also mulligan this. This hand doesn't do anything, and Abrupt Decay is only medium in these matchups. And I'm kind of forced to keep this, and I do need a second land. I'm going to turn 1 bird here. So we have like a 20% chance of winning this. Devoted Druid would be if I would have definitely taken Devoted Druid if I had more cards in my hand, but I don't. So I'm kind of on my back leg already. So I think a second Duskwatch Recruiter, which can nullify some of their spot removal, is the best spot I can be in here. And if they just opt into a turn 2 Terminus, I might just lose my shit. Okay. I get an Overgrown Tomb here. Okay, we're catching up, we're grinding. Unfortunately, blue-white control is not exactly the type of deck that grinding does a lot against. If this is a deck like Jund, what just happened and what we just were able to overcome here on this mold of 5 has been phenomenal. Next turn we have a Collected Company, which is awesome. We have Eternal Witness to rebuy that company. Okay. So Noble Hierarch means I get to kill Jace. And Scavenging Ooze means I get to shut down Snapcaster Mage. And I just have to remember that I have 2 Visitors in the bottom here. I chose to hold up Skoo's mana as opposed to replaying Duskwatch here. Sure. Opponent giving us a basic Plains means the Horizon Canopy is now expendable. Oop. So I'm going to cast Company on their turn, and I can again swing. I can swing for 4. I have them on a 4-turn clock here if they don't do anything. But of course they will be. It's a control deck. And they do have Cryptic Mana online. Yep. Okay, Dispel into Teferi, so I can beat this hand. I'm just going to overload into a board wipe. And hope the top deck of Gavney Township. Okay, so they have 2 cards we don't know about in her hand. They did play a spell, so Duskwatch is not going to flip. One, two, three. So I can swing for 5 Exalted, or I can swing for 2, 4, 6, 8. Yeah, I think I'm just going to swing for 8 at them. Just try to end this game as fast as possible. Oh, that stinks. Got an Eternal Witness. So I actually want them to flip. It's slightly more power. I don't need the dig ability now. We're pretty much at late game. Okay. This is an unfavorable matchup, so I'm slightly playing a tempo game here. It doesn't mean it's correct. So I have 3 nobles in the bottom of the deck. If I Coco into 1, I'm representing lethal. But my opponent does have a colonnade blocker. And they're just going to try to sit back and Pillow Fort behind Teferi here. Close. You can see, like, this is, on a mull to 5, I almost pulled it off. But Terminus is a heck of a drug. You can see what I mean by you really can't, you can You really can't play around it because their blue-white control is good against us because they have spot removal to stop our combo to kill the druid when we need it, and they have a terminus to wipe the board when we overextend because we're trying to use our undercosted beaters. We have a bunch of 3/2s in the deck. They can take seven hits from that before they die. And with their planeswalkers and cryptics to bounce us, we really have to wait. We really have to take advantage of when they stumble. So I'm hoping this gets Cryptic Command, and then I just cast the other Vizier from my hand. Sure. And then cast Collected Company into lethal. One, two, three. Yeah, it's not happening. I tapped my mana wrong. I should have floated a white. I was really banking everything into that one line there. So Knight of Autumn has been just as good as Kitchen Finks would have been here. The reason I haven't played it is I haven't been in the need of a 4/3. Been more interested in the value creatures. Granted, it's possible I should have played Knight of Autumn instead of Eternal Witness. Having that extra power on the board would have made my opponent probably -3 with the Fairy or respect it a little bit more. Just on a mull to 5, I took a bunch of value lines in this game, and then was tempoed out by that terminus. Okay. Gideon wouldn't even be a good draw right now because Teferi can just tuck him. How Gideon might be a good draw is embleming him and then being able to swing for lethal with the Devoted Druid if all they do is kill Eternal Witness right now. Good news is I get to shuffle my deck, so the Noble Hierarchs are potentially a top deck right now from me. So they have the Celestial Colonnade to block, so I can't attack with Devoted Druid like I would like to. One last shot here. I assume they have some sort of counter spell, although I feel like if they did, they would have countered the Vizier, right? Oh. Had to tap both white sources to cast the Knight of Autumn and the Vizier. Opponent gets to Emblem to Fairy next turn, exile 3 permanents. I attack for exactly 1 and they have a colonnade blocker. So one thing I learned in this this match is I need to side in gut shot. I need to put gut shot in my sideboard, and this is painful. So match 1, we saw blue-white control and what we can do if they stumble. Here's what they do if we don't take advantage of that stumble. I did everything or here's what they do, I guess, if they stumble into terminuses. I mean, I know that they had the Jace to set it up, but I think I'm at a 0.5% to win here. And I have to win 2 games. I mean, if they tap out, I can play Knight of Autumn, which would get unsummoned, and then they exile everything I own. Yeah. I just want to see my draw step. I mean, I can cast Knight of Autumn, blow up Search for Azcanta, and then on their turn they exile everything I control. 1, 2... So I dealt with 5 Terminus. Is that 4? Effectively 5 spot removal spells and 3 Cryptics. Yeah, I'm not beating that. Good game. Good game. And I will see you guys in the next one. 4-1. Actually, let me talk about the league for a little bit. 4-1. Eternal Witness definitely pulled her weight here. I did miss Rallier in the Jund matchup, I feel, but that's probably about it. Eternal Witness is very, very good against decks where cycling Collected Companies or cycling Path to Exiles is more relevant than the tempo of rebuying one of these cards. I think the deck is very good. I think if other decks run hot, of course, we're not going to be able to beat that, but when we run hot, other decks can't really beat us either. I was proud of the way the deck fought back when we were mulliganed to 5 game 2 of round 5 of this game here, or of this match here. Rallied back off Duskwatch Recruiter and Eternal Witness and company to basically look like we drew back up to parity there. At one point, we were ahead of the opponent. They just had a Teferi in play, or in hand, and we had a full board. And if it wasn't for that Terminus, we would have run away with that game and then gone into game 3 where anything could happen. So, proud of the deck. I think this league showed that it's very, very powerful, very explosive, very grindy, and it's in a pretty good spot here in the modern metagame. I'll see you in the next one.